Welcome to Becoming Saiyans.
A Dragon Ball rewatch podcast.
And we're back. I'm Truman.
And I'm Jesse.
And this is Becoming Saiyans, a Dragon Ball rewatch podcast. On today's episode, we watched episodes 96 and 97, titled Tails' Tale, and Final Match, Goku vs. Tien. The first of these episodes came out in Japan on January 13th, 1988, and in America on December 23rd, 2002, whereas the Goku and Tien fight came out January 20th, 1988, and on Christmas of 2002 in America. A fun fact, I don't know if it's going to be added, but apparently there's a Dragon Ball GT episode named The Tails' Tale, which they put here and said, this is about the Dragon Ball episode. If you're looking for the GT episode, you gotta click this link, which I think is just kind of funny to put in there. But
you could mistype it or something.
Yeah. Differences from the manga, the whole thing with Bulma launch Puar, they're not there, which means the whole Oolong taunting Puar doesn't happen. Shin getting frustrated / bored with the match and turning it into an argument is not there. The flashbacks to Goku's training aren't in the manga. Goku in the manga immediately uses his diversion. In the anime, they have more fighting before we get to that point. In the manga, the tournaments, events, everything happens on the same day instead of over 4 days. So in the manga, they ask Goku if he wants to take an event or take a break before the finals. Goku says he doesn't care anyway. Due to the above change about the 4 days thing, this doesn't happen. Bulma, Oolong, and launch all, that doesn't happen because, it goes right into it.
Yeah.
Trivia, a small King Ghidorah from the Godzilla series can be seen in the crowd.
You must have missed that. I'm depressed for myself now.
The line about a spectator distracting the announcer by saying nice hair was only in the English dub. In the Funimation dub, Goku's laugh after he reveals he's fooled Krillin is in similar vein to the Woody Woodpecker laugh. That one,
Yeah.
Jumping into some differences from the manga in the second episode, we have in the manga it all happens on the same day.
We really should have just started prefacing some of these episodes with just these are all in the same day.
Yeah.
In the manga, so that's obviously different.
This is all the stuff with Yamcha sneaking out of the hospital, the tourists talking about the upcoming match, the hotel room being there, Oolong already being at the arena, the whole thing about him scaring everybody away, and then Puar all added in, the hotel room, Tien meditating.
The first half of the episode.
The whole thing where the announcer's introductions for Tien and Goku are restarted, or that's not in the manga either. So yeah, just take the first half to 3/4 of the second episode and just wipe them from the face of existence because they're all added in.
Yep.
Jumping into trivia. The Japanese version, Oolong came up with a plan to get front row seats specifically because Launch turned nice again and won't be able to help. Launch doesn't understand what they mean, causing Bulma to giggle, but this isn't mentioned in the Funimation dub, making Bulma's laughter somewhat random. Similarly, in the Japanese version, Krillin comments on how both of them were nice to wash Goku's uniform, causing Bulma and Launch to blush. In the English dub, he asks how they kept the colors from fading, making their reaction less fitting. I did think that was kind of weird. He's like, how did you keep the colors from fading? Like, who will never tell? And it's like, what did you guys do to his outfit? What did you do to the outfit?
He's a child.
When Goku looks out of the window, the backwards sign above the entrance to the stadium reads, welcome, with 2 L's instead of with 1 L. In the Japanese version, one of the girls who asked for Jackie's autograph tells the other that old perverts are boring, referencing the old man. Roshi sneezes in response to that old superstition. Sneezing means that someone's gossiping about you behind your back. The reference was lost in translation since the above line was changed to something more generic for the Funimation dub. The girls' voices in the Funimation version are different than they were in Full Moon Vengeance. In that episode, they are voiced by Jessica Dismuke and Casey Buckley, but now they're replaced by Laura Bailey and Meredith McCoy. For the Blue Water dub, the blue-haired girl was played by Jennifer Holder, and the redhead was played by Carol Ann Day during Full Moon Vengeance. So, those girls are the same girls from the Full Moon Vengeance, by the way. The language form, or the large form that Puar takes on to scare Oolong resembles the bear thief who tried to eat the turtle in the Nimbus Cloud of Roshi. And the Funimation dub, when Roshi and Shin are having their telepathy argument, Roshi quips that Shin has nice pajamas, referencing the time the Crane Hermit tried to assassinate Goku in his sleep. And that is all the differences in the trivia that we have. So previously on Dragon Ball, Krillin puts up the best fight I've ever seen anybody put up against Goku up to this point. And he is going blow for blow with Goku. Goku pulls out some crazy moves, and then for a minute goes so fast that he's basically invisible, and he's able to beat my boy Krillin. It's so sad. But then we move on to the next episode where we are told that Tien and Goku are going to fight in an epic showdown in the finals match. But what we really get is 2/3 of an episode worth of filler, which is a little bit of fighting at the end. And at the end of that episode, Tien has Goku right where he wants him. And what will happen with that? Who knows? Because that's what you missed on Dragon Ball. Jesse, go for it.
A really solid first episode. And then the second episode is, quite frankly, anticlimactic.
It's like what the animals said in the first episode. That fight was anticlimactic and did not have any catharsis between the two competitors. And he's like, I don't know what you're saying.
I don't know
what those words mean.
He literally says, I didn't understand a word you said.
Yeah.
No, it like, by the name... And this is a problem I think we're going to have consistently, because it's just how anime is. You're going to have episodes that, like, the names are misleading. Mm-hmm. Especially in a show, in a universe as vast as Dragon Ball. Mm. But it's really probably the most egregious one we've had so far from my immediate memory.
Normally, at least, like, what happens in the title happens in the show to some extent. And I know, like, technically Goku and Tien fought. But, like...
They fought for, like, 3 minutes.
But them selling this as the finale, the final fight, and that we get literally, like, 1/3 of the episode.
Yeah, it's like, we're not saying that it's surprising that it's a two episode fight. Because all of the fights in the semifinals and beyond have been 2 episodes.
The only one that hasn't, I think, is Goku's first fight.
Yeah, like the only knockout round fights that weren't like 2 episoders was Goku's fight. Yeah,
I think Jackie's was too. You know, I think Jackie's was a 1 episode because he, you know,
the first one.
Yeah, the first Jackie fight with the bear or the Wolfman.
Yeah, I think he.
I think he won in 1. But yeah, for the most part, these fights, like when it has 2 named characters in it, has
they at least
taken
fight
multiple.
for half of the episode. Though.
Yeah,
they fought for at most 3.5-4 minutes. Like it's like they fought. Like it feels like they only fought. They only like threw and technically they only threw a couple punches. But it really feels that way.
Yeah, and like just looking back at the differences from the manga in that episode, it's just like what is this episode then? You know, like I'm gonna pull them back up just to read them out loud to the audience right now because
I get or just
so in the
go through them.
In the manga, the tournament's events and all happenings occur on the exact same day, whereas in the anime they're stretched out to take place over 4 days. That means that Yamcha sneaks out of the Papaya Hospital to watch the final match while he does not in the manga.
Which takes like 30 to 45 seconds.
Also, in the manga, Bulma, Lunch, Puar stay with him the entire tournament, which taken place on the same day. Here, where they watch all of it and inform him of the day's events afterwards.
Which, of course, has taken up at least probably an episode or a little bit more of added on stuff.
Yeah. Just consistently throughout the arc, yes.
Yeah, like throughout, like we could already be done with this arc if they just made it all one day, which I understand why they didn't.
Yeah,
I think it does give a little bit more time to give more of a story behind certain characters and
I'm
stuff.
fine with them adding some time here and there, but like the fact that especially this episode is particularly egregious.
Agreed.
I'm going to take off my glasses for this one.
Yeah.
Because the next part is the tourists discussing the upcoming match and making bets. That's all added in because we don't have time between the semifinal match and the finals, which is explained later on down here towards the end.
I'll give him a little bit on this one. It was kind of a funny conversation.
Yeah.
But if we cut it out and we get like a little bit extra fighting, Even if you still leave on the cliffhanger that we leave on in this that episode.
Yeah.
But you get a little bit more action.
Yeah.
Then I wouldn't mind it being cut. But I do also say like I admitted to Truman while we were watching, like, this shows me that they're probably going to have to start televising this tournament come the next iteration because of how many people are coming to the island to try to watch this tournament.
Yeah.
So I guess, like, if you're giving them the benefit of the doubt, they're setting up why the next tournaments, if it is televised from here on out, is televised from here on out.
Yeah.
Because there's such a ginormous demand for seating in the arena to watch it.
Yes. So keeping on with the differences from the manga, since we kind of jumped over all of these during it, the next part, which is part of the second episode that happens, that's frustrating, is go into the hotel room where Roshi's watching an aerobics video but has trouble hearing it. Turtle chides him for his immaturity but is told off by the old master. Bulma and Launch soon come in with a newly washed turtle gi for Goku to wear. Goku puts it on, an insect passes by, causing Launch to sneeze. She hits Roshi over the head and drags him away from the TV in order to go watch the fight. That is all added, and that is probably 5 minutes of runtime. Like, I don't even think that's an exaggeration. I'm pretty sure that's about a 5-minute scene.
I literally think that, like, Goku getting ready to leave the hotel room, it's either that's when it cuts to the midway point, or it cuts to the midway point when Tien and them get ready to leave.
It cuts to Tien.
And then cuts to Tien.
Well, no, it doesn't cut to Tien yet, but that's when it cuts that mid-break. Because the next thing that happens in the episode is Oolong is already at the arena to ensure decent seats for his friends. In his transformed state, he is able to scare away most people until a creature even larger than him comes along and demands a seat. He acquiesces until the creature turns out to be Puar in disguise. They return to their true forms just in time for Yamcha to come along and say he wouldn't miss this fight for the world. And that is another 5-minute scene that takes place.
That's an exaggeration.
2.5 minute scene that takes place.
I was probably a minute, actually, to be fair.
Then we cut to one, and it's Tien having his crisis of faith in his hotel room, or meditates while reflecting on Roshi's words from their match. He feels conflicted at first, but resolves to honor Tao's memory by killing Goku. Shin and Shiatsu wait for him to finish, but the old man grows tired and tells the latter to go fetch the man. Tien is seen levitating while still meditating. Potent didn't even know it. Before Chiatsu tells him it's time. That is another probably 2 to 3 minute scene.
That's a solid amount of time. That if it was all on the same day like it is in the manga, you don't waste. Yeah. And I'll say this because to my understanding, and I'm maybe assuming too hard here. I'm fairly confident that all of this adage had to have cleared Toriyama's approval.
Desk, you know.
Like, I had to clear his desk.
Yeah.
So if you're giving the absolute biggest excuse here, Toriyama is okay with this extra world building moment, like small little bits of like extra story from like normal people and other stuff. And I guess that's where you can excuse it. But as a viewer, it does suck to tune in for the titled like final match, and then you get at most, like, we didn't sit here and time it with a stopwatch, but at most they couldn't have been throwing punches and going at each other for more than like 2 to 3 minutes. Yeah, and then we get a cliffhanger.
Yeah. And again, this isn't us saying that all of that stuff that added up was bad.
There
were parts here and there that were good, but the fact is that they added so much that it overwhelmed this episode.
And this also adds
it's like a little bit of soy sauce makes something good. A lot of bit of soy sauce makes something bad. And that's the soy sauce of this episode.
And like, if we're really coming down to it, like, obviously you're always going to waste, I think, about like a minute 44 because when we skip the intro, it's like a minute 44.
Yeah.
So you're a minute 44 in the intro.
And about a minute 44 in the outro.
And then you also are losing on this recap. It was, bro, it like took about a minute of a recap. 45 seconds to a minute of recap. So you already have lost almost 3 minutes to intro and recap. And then an extra about a minute 40 to a minute 45 on the outro. So you've lost in a 24-minute show, like 24 minute, like you've lost 4-ish minutes already. And then you go on and waste another like
12 to 15
roughly if we went down and counted. There's like you could have trimmed a little bit of fat here and there, and gotten an extra minute of them throwing punches, and like be able to show off a little bit more skill.
Yeah.
And then have Goku get absolutely destroyed and leave with a cliffhanger. Is Goku gonna like survive?
Yeah. It is literally just that. It's
And-
the problem is just how frustrating it is to watch
It's
this.
the pacing. It's the
Yeah.
like it's the first time we've really gotten into like hating the pacing of an episode this hard.
Since for a while.
Yeah, like
For a while. Since like the I think General White saga.
yeah.
Like back then in the tower where there was a couple episodes.
in like 30 to 40 episodes of the show.
Yeah.
And not podcast episodes, but
Yeah.
of the actual episodes of the show.
But this one is pretty like
It sucks.
we've been apologizing for it. We've been forgiving the filler that's been in most of these episodes, because every time the fight starts, we're like, oh, this fight's not going to start till the end because there's so much extra crap. But all the extra crap is like funny or is purposeful. At this point, this episode, it just felt the only one that was important was Yamcha jumping out of the hospital.
Yamcha jumping out of the hospital, Tien, because like Tien's meditating
Tien's
while having like
meditating.
an existential crisis.
And due to the fact that Yamcha's hospital thing pays off in the Puar and Oolong one, we'll say that one counts.
And then like
The
I
rest-
guess like if you really cared about it, showing that like Goku had like taken a shower and gotten his clothes cleaned.
Yeah, but
But
since
that
we
could have
already
taken like 30-40 seconds.
since we already know this is the next day, because this is a 4-day event and this is the last day of the event, we know he's clean at this point. You know, it's like at the only part of this that these this episode that like there is the Yamcha, the 2 scenes with Yamcha, and the 1 scene with Tien, and then you can trim the rest of the whole stuff with Oolong Puar, or not Puar, with Bulma and Launch and Goku and Roshi and Krillin and all them. You can trim that down a significant amount.
And then if
That
you
gives
trim
you-
that, if you trim that enough, you could honestly have the Goku having been beat up cliffhanger before the mid roll.
Yeah.
And like if you just push the mid roll back, like maybe
Because
an extra 30 seconds to a minute.
The one that's the most egregious to me, which we didn't even talk about, happens after the mid break. It's the whole psychic shouting match between Roshi and Shin.
Hey, you know
that
what?
part, I'm like, what are we even doing? And then the announcer,
It's a little that one I enjoyed for as a first time viewer, because it was pretty funny to watch 2 old men hate each other.
Yeah,
because we had inklings that they hated each other, but it was really funny to see them like absolutely just being like, well, you're smelly and stinky, well, you're fat.
my problem with that is, Jesse, is that we spent the whole first half of the episode doing random crap.
That is the thing, is like we're wasting even more time having an argument,
and then
we have the intros of the fighters.
Yeah, I'm normally not mad at the announcer. I normally love anytime the announcer's on screen, I'm like, this guy's great. And by the way, not even a spoiler, he's the announcer for every one of these tournaments, like in perpetuity.
Does he
Even
ever
in Dragon
change?
Ball Super, it's the same guy.
Does he ever look different?
Oh yeah, he gets older because
Okay.
as they grow up, he gets older.
Just-
At one
okay.
point, he has a mustache. He starts to get gray hair in GT. Like, no, he changes, but it's always him. Like at one point, like they jump way farther into the future, and it's like Goku's grandchild is like in the fighting, and he's still there. Like, let's get this tournament started. It's like, we do like a flash forward for a minute at one point, and it's like, oh my gosh, you know, like what? But
He's really committed to the role.
yeah, but the whole thing with it is just that, like, this episode, and we're not even talking about the first episode. First episode, as far as I'm concerned, was great.
The first episode's a solid like 7.
I would even say it's an 8.
Yeah.
Like, there's some good stuff in that scene.
I honestly, with how much we hate the second episode, I think, I mean, it's a 7.5, 8, purely because like you have an entertaining fight. You have fun watching Krillin and Goku absolutely battle it out like a bunch of dogs.
Yeah. Listener, before we get into the first episode, because we have a lot to talk about, I'm going to give you a little tidbit of nugget that we have about the second episode. The whole second episode, Jesse and I were just talking the entire time. We were hardly taking attention to a single thing that was happening.
we were paying attention.
We were watching it, but like we were just chatting.
we were chatting and also ripping it while we were watching it, as much as we're ripping it on the episode.
Yeah, we were like, wow, this is a lot.
If you're wondering why we jumped into it so hard already, it's because we were doing that for the last like 20 minutes, setting the computer up and everything.
Yeah, we were just like, man, what is this episode? But
So this isn't made up for the podcast. Like this is how we felt for the last 20-30 minutes.
Yeah. So with that, we will be jumping into
The more superior
episode, which is the first one.
Not just because we get to watch Krillin fight for
Yeah.
you and stuff.
Yeah.
Because we actually get to see a tournament arc happening.
Yeah. Which my first thing is going to be, holy crap, what a move by Goku. Because that first attack, the first major attack that happens, because there's a lot of punching and kicking, but the first, full on, I'm pulling out all the stops for this, is Goku runs head on at Krillin, jumps up into the air, Kamehamehas himself into Krillin, and punches him in the face. And he lays him out.
It just goes to show you yet again how good Goku is on the fly, coming up with things that would take even someone like Roshi a couple of attempts to perfect, and just doing it perfectly immediately. Because the only way it works the way it does is he starts building the Kamehameha as he's running at Krillin. And Krillin probably hears this being built and thinks he's getting up close to do a close one.
Yeah.
So then when he jumps, it catches Krillin off guard. And then he goes straight up in the air. Yeah. And a Kamehameha, when you're not standing on ground and bracing yourself, probably does accelerate you really fast.
That's why
then using that momentum on top of already how strong Goku is, almost wins the fight if the announcer doesn't start counting late.
Yeah, he starts counting counting late, counting late, and also he gets distracted.
10 pounds.
And this is where he also gets distracted by the hair comment. Also happens there. So.
Well,
that happens with the Goku
one.
But
That's the Goku one.
Before we get there, Krillin being able to withstand that makes him the true MVP. And even Roshi points it out. He's like, and the award for most improved fighter at the tournament goes to Krillin.
Because that would have killed anybody else. Without saying it, he's like, that would have killed anybody else.
But Krillin's that dog.
Krillin gets right back up on a 6 count.
I think
a 6 count that would have probably been a 9
maybe,
10.
Maybe even a 6-7 count.
Yeah,
6-7 count. I don't know if that's still big with people.
Especially when this podcast comes out.
Yeah. Shin calling Launch a schizo was a funny thing.
That was a pretty good dig.
Shin was MVP in that first episode, as far as the peanut gallery, because he is throwing jabs. He's like, I've seen more action on a playground than what I'm seeing right now.
Shin a true hater.
Why are they cheering for these people? They're just standing there and looking at each other.
Why aren't they booing?
Yeah.
No, Shin's always just peak hater. I love him.
And one thing I'm going to say here is I like the animation blocking for their fights, between Goku and Krillin, because there's a lot of moments where normally if you see them moving, it's just Tasmanian devil whirls. You don't see what's going on, but you're seeing Goku catches a punch, Krillin blocks a punch, and then catches another punch. He blocks a kick. Even as fast as it's going, it's showing it. In animation, that it's not just they're punching and kicking at nothing.
It's not just blur and stuff.
Yeah, and I give them credit there because that is a lot of that's a lot of effort that takes there. Even if they do replay it a few times, because even in the first episode, there was a couple of times where they replayed the same still. They replayed a couple of the animation stuff, but
that stuff you do so then you can make it look as good as possible.
Yeah. My next note is just what the heck are you thinking, Krillin? Because Krillin's like, don't worry, counterattack, and just runs straight forward, puts his head down, and Goku just is karate chops
his back.
What? It's Krillin, what was the thought here? What are you doing?
Sometimes you got to be dumb before you're smart.
Yeah, and Krillin's like, what are you thinking? Why am I talking to myself in the second person? We got to come up with a plan. Dang it.
I think third person.
Yeah, no, he says second person.
Oh, really?
He says second person. It is well, no, because third person would be him being Krillin. I is Krillin. Krillin does this, but it would be almost he's talking to himself in the first person, really. But he says second person. It's a funny joke. But he does come up with a good idea. The plan is seemingly going to work. Because the next thing he does is he just runs straight at Goku. Or no, the next thing is he shoots a Kamehameha at Goku, and Goku's like, this isn't going to do anything to me.
Goku's like, this isn't going to hurt me. And then Goku's right. It doesn't hurt Goku. But then Krillin disappears.
Yeah.
And then comes up behind him and grabs his tail. And Goku's like, and he starts getting affected by it. Because, obviously he's going to get affected by it. But I called it. I said like when it's like Krillin doesn't know this isn't gonna work.
Yeah.
Because I could have sworn
We hadn't seen him train or anything with it yet. When it was the Pilaf fight, which I think is the one you're thinking about,
Yeah.
he doesn't have the tail because Grandpa Gohan broke it off right before that.
Yeah, I could have sworn we saw some. For some reason in my brain, I could have sworn we'd seen a moment where like his tail had been grabbed in one of the training episodes we saw,
I don't think so.
and then like he was able to play it off or something. But I might just be making up a memory. It doesn't matter because I was right. But, I was like, I might have just been making up a memory that doesn't exist.
Yeah. My favorite thing is Tien being like, "How did this idiot make it this far with such a
weakness,
with such an obvious and vital weakness?"
Yeah.
And it's like, well, he trained that weakness. And even Roshi's like, they listen. They like
because he's like Goku's like, yeah, well, I trained it for 3 years because Roshi told me to.
Yeah.
And Roshi's like, I vaguely remember saying that in passing. I guess they do listen.
Yeah. And then the other stuff he says there, which I thought were cool, is it being like Goku's like training or weaknesses can only be beaten by like training, not complaining.
Yeah.
Like the thing that makes Goku so great is not just the fact that he's like all powerful, like superhero level strength, but it's the fact that like when he notices a flaw, he's gonna do everything in his power to like
overcome it.
Yeah.
And that's an entire like character arc for a character plot for Goku. It's just like
there's always going to be a bigger mountain. I'm always going to want to punch it in the face. Like
there's always a bigger fish, but I can become the bigger fish for that
cool.
fish.
And I can't wait to see this bigger fish.
And then I can't wait to see the bigger fish. Yeah, but it's a great moment just to show you like how serious Goku takes this stuff.
Yeah.
Because oftentimes, when you're getting experience with Goku, especially in those training episodes, it's like, yeah, he's like messing around doing side quests, but those side quests are making him stronger. And then there's things in between those side quests that we're like skipping over, where it's like he's been training his tail, and apparently, even though in my brain I thought we saw it, we never saw him train the tail.
Yeah.
I could have sworn it, but I think I am misconstruing.
Yeah, I think you're putting the Pilaf moment in there with the fact that you figured his tail was going to be fine. Yeah, because
I predicted that. I think when you told me the name of the episode.
Yeah, and then the next note I have is Tien is what the youths call shook, because Goku starts moving at like supersonic speed. To the point where like he's not even being able to be like faster than light almost, you know. And
like no one can see him, and Tien like
only barely seeing him. Like it's after he focuses.
He focuses, like his third eye starts to kick in. He's able to focus real hard.
Yeah.
Then he can kind of see like the very limited still images of him.
Yeah.
Bouncing around. It's like, oh my goodness.
He's really fast.
It's like.
And then we get the anticlimactic finale. Everybody's kind of like, well, I guess that happened.
I guess Krillin got scared super hard and flew out of the ring.
And then Tien's like, no, what they missed was the 8 punches and a kick that knocked him out of the ring. And I wrote down like, man, he won without punching him the final time. And then like the note about the animals being funny, and then like the animal human people being funny, and then the next note was, never mind, 8 punches and a kick wouldn't do it. Yeah, because
8 punches and a kick in like a nanosecond would knock most people out.
Yeah. It's quite a feat, and it's just showing how like strong Goku is at this point. The next note I have is for the next episode. It's the Yamcha being roided out, which was a fun animation thing that Jesse caught. We went back and watched. If you watch the second episode, which we're not saying you should, but if you do watch the second episode, the first scene, the first little picture that you get of Yamcha, his head
is incredibly tiny.
It looks like the Beetlejuice movie where like the skeleton head person. It's just like one tiny long head, and then like the giant human body.
Yeah, I caught it. I was like, and then like I asked her like, did you see that? And she was like, no. And I'm like, go back.
Yeah,
go back. I want you to see this. This is hilarious.
And then that's basically all the notes I have. It's just like, oh, that was cool.
I have a note that you're going to appreciate more than anybody in the audience.
Okay.
Because like when Tien walks out,
Yeah.
and he's like super intense. I was like, Alex Lynn, intense. which is a reference to some of the like from our childhood playing 2K.
We used to play 2K. I'm a big Suns fan at the time. There was a player on the Suns named Alex Lynn, and I would be like, he's intense.
Like he's intense, and then he would just absolutely posterize me with them.
Yeah. It's like Alex Lynn, not a good basketball player. I mean, good basketball player because he made the NBA, but on NBA levels is not a good basketball player. He's an average / serviceable one. And at that point, he had a lot of potential when he was in that game we were playing. So he was a little overinflated at overall wise because of the potential. But in general, not the guy you'd build your franchise around.
In general, he's like a very fringe backup center.
Yeah, he's a serviceable backup.
For like the Wizards or the Suns of the early teens.
I think he right now is on the Kings, if I remember
Is he still in the
correctly.
league?
I think he's on the Kings right now.
I thought he was out. I thought he was like in China or something.
No, I'm pretty sure he's on the Kings now. I remember seeing him earlier this year and be like, "Hey, look, Alex Lynn, look at that guy."
No, he's not. He's not in Europe or China.
Yeah, he is not. It looks,
Not yet. He's not at the Guangdong Tigers.
Yeah, it looks like his. Oh no, it does look like he went to Real Madrid recently.
Okay.
But like as of like earlier this year,
he's definitely good enough to play significant minutes like overseas. But as far as NBA level talent,
apparently he was on the Lakers earlier this year, like at the beginning of the season.
Yeah, probably when they were having center troubles and stuff.
Yeah. But that's beside the point. The rest of this episode is just, we already talked about it. What are we doing? And then the fight part was pretty cool for the most part.
Let's get into the actual part of the second episode that was nice, which was the actual like 2 to 3 minutes of throwing punches. And by 2 to 3 minutes of throwing punches, 2 to 3 minutes of Tien absolutely beating the ever living crap out of Goku.
Yeah, he is. It almost, this feels like one of those like playing possum moments from Goku where he's just like letting the guy beat the crap out of him just to see how hard he has to push it, is what it feels like.
It's what it feels like, and I think a part of that's also just like it's what you hope it feels like, because if it's not and Goku got beat that easily, it's like, wow, this is pretty concerning. But
yeah.
I think it's pretty understandable to assume, and when we get to the prediction second, this will be the first prediction I have for the next episode. Goku's gonna win. Goku's gonna come back and win. But like it leaves on the cliffhanger where you're legitimately scared for Goku's safety.
If you don't know like the stuff about Goku, it would be easy to look at that and be like, it does not look like he's doing that good.
Hospital.
Yeah. But other than that, I really don't have a whole lot of notes for this second half of this episode. Like I really don't. Because it's all just like, oh, that was a funny one line, and I don't even remember what line it is. You know, like. I
really enjoyed the guy saying like in like the big joke in the tourist thing was like, I really enjoyed the guy saying like, I quit my job for this.
Oh, yeah, that was a good one, and he was a Cyclops for some reason.
Yeah, like that was a funny one. I was like, I don't even regret it. I'm like, okay, dude.
And then the people with the conspiracy of like, why are they making us stand out here in this heat? We should have chairs and stuff. And it's like, yeah, but they don't want, tournament organizers don't want to do anything like that. They would rather save a few bucks and leave us standing in the heat by ourselves to pay for it, you know.
Yeah, they never hire enough staff for these events anyways.
Yeah. It's like, well, why did you come?
Which does feel like a lot of like modern American sporting events recently.
Yeah.
Part of the reason why I'm scared of the World Cup, I'm like, we're going to screw it up.
Yeah.
Beyond all of the very obvious reasons to be scared of the World Cup in the U.S. next month, that's another reason. It's like it's gonna be so horribly mismanaged. Beyond everything else that's gonna happen.
Mm-hmm. I am excited about us going to it. Like if we're still working on making it to where we can go, but all signs are pointing to us being able to go, and I'm gonna be excited.
I guess we should mention it. Like, there's probably at this point like an 80-85% chance.
I would say probably 85 to 90% chance.
Yeah, like there's a very high likelihood we will be in
Kansas City
for the Algeria-Austria match on the 27th of June.
27th at like 9. It's like a 9 o'clock kickoff, 9:30 kickoff.
And we should be leaving. We're about a 3.5 hour drive give or take from Kansas City, which means we should show up. Because we're going to leave once my partner gets off work, because they get off work at like 11.
Yeah.
So we should be leaving to head to... We should be in Kansas City by like 4
Yeah,
5 o'clock.
we'll go drop our stuff off at the hotel, go find a bite to eat or something. But
Yeah.
if you guys are in,
If anybody out there listening to this that's in Kansas City, around
or
that
is
time,
going to be going to Kansas City for the World Cup for some reason,
Yeah,
like if you're, it's like, oh, I live in Texas, but I'm going to Kansas City for that game. I'm a big Algerian national team
or
fan.
somehow like one of you guys out there listening is from Algeria and Austria and happen to get tickets.
Yeah,
like come say hi. We'd be really excited to see you.
Yeah.
Especially
Try to
because,
at least email us so we can try to set up a time where we can meet or something. You know,
have like a meet and greet.
Yeah, a miniature one, but we'll take it.
A meet and greet, otherwise known as we'll buy you a beer.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. But,
because Kansas City is I think the only host city so far that's come out to say they're going to allow their bars to sell beer all but 1 hour of the day.
Yes, but only Kansas City, Missouri, because the mayor of Kansas City, Kansas, came out and said we ain't doing that crap.
But but the game is being held at Arrowhead, which is in Kansas City, Missouri.
I know, but I was just making sure I make this. Kansas can't even do this right. Okay, Kansas. Don't get me started on this stuff because I can't stand.
This is Mizzou. We're talking about sports.
Yeah.
This is how boring this last episode was. We're
talking
about
anyways, we're talking about stuff we care about, not those stupid last episodes. But yeah, I don't like Kansas. I don't like Arkansas. I'm not a big fan of Nebraska. I will tell you, there's a story. If you ever go to an Arkansas Razorbacks game, do not get the cheesy popcorn because they know a way to mess it up. They put freaking kettle corn in their cheesy popcorn.
Yeah, they put a sweet corn.
With the savory corn. Why are you doing it?
It's like if you're gonna use kettle corn for anything, use it for like the caramel popcorn.
Yeah, or like white chocolate.
The chocolate drizzle popcorn.
Yeah, not cheesy popcorn. They can't even do popcorn right in Arkansas. Anyways, Jesse, I guess with all that being said, we should probably move on and get this episode over for these people. So, Jesse, what was your worst part of this episode?
Everyone has left the episode. Like,
but before, wait, we'll finish. What is the worst part of this episode, Jesse?
Can we just say all of the filler in the second
two-thirds of the second episode? 1, 2, 3. Yes, it has been locked in. That is the worst part of these episodes. Jesse, what is the best part?
Don't even think it's a question.
Yeah,
we could have just assumed. I would say the best part of this episode is I'm going to give it to the Goku Kamehameha.
That was going to be the one I was going to pick.
That's so good. There's some funny jokes in there that you can give honorable mentions to, like the I quit my job, like the schizo comment. Yeah. I personally really enjoyed the two old men going back and forth, taking it out of the context of why are we still padding for time? We just had the mid-credit scene.
Yeah.
But you have to. That's one of the coolest things we've seen in a fight in the entire show.
That would be mine, but I will, because you took that one, I will give a shout out to the Tien Crisis of Faith scene, which I know was part of the two-thirds of the bad part.
But it was,
that one part was the shine. That was probably the best of that filler part. Was that scene? Yeah, for me was that scene because you can just see him. The wheels are turning in his head. The angel and the devil on his shoulders are fighting.
He's thinking.
Yeah, it's showing that like what Roshi said is like still there. The seeds were still planted, and we might see them pay off or not. We never know, but there's a chance they could pay off moving forward.
He might be part of why Goku is able to win. Yeah,
or it could be part of why Goku loses. You know, because even like Roshi says in that, it's like you're an amazing fighter, but you're kind of blinded by your rage and your ambition and all that stuff. So. Yeah. Maybe releasing that might be part of letting him.
Your inhibitions.
Yeah, he releases his inhibitions and lets the rain hit his skin. You know, but Jesse, with that, we need to start moving into our next two episodes predictions. Starting off with the predictions from last week, which were that you thought that Goku was going to win the fight, or Goku was going to win the Krillin fight. Yes, yeah. Krillin uses the tail as a weakness, and Goku is past that level. Yes. The next episode is going to be a 2-episode fight, and Tien has an epiphany, you said. But I don't really see him having an epiphany.
I mean, he hasn't quite had an epiphany yet.
Yeah. But the 2-episode fight seems right for now. We don't know how many more episodes this fight's going to be. But at least two.
They would have to pad heavily next episode for, I think, it not to finish next episode. Which is weird, because then that would still leave us with, like, 3 more episodes of this arc.
Yeah. So then the next 2 episodes, Jesse, are called Victory's Edge and Tien's Insurrection. What do you think is going to happen in those episodes?
I'm still going to stick with my thing that, like, obviously Goku's going to win the fight. I think.
Okay.
And then, I think Tien finally has like the clarification moment, I guess.
That's the moment of clarity.
Yeah, moment of clarity. In the middle of the fight.
Okay. So that's what.
And then Shin is really mad because like Tien turns heel in his brain.
Gotcha.
Like turns against him. You turned her against me.
You did that yourself. So Jesse, those are some good predictions there, and we will like to say thank you guys for listening. You can reach out to us at becomingsaiyans@gmail.com especially if you want to set up a meet and greet. We'd be down for that. Secondly, we would like to say that you can follow us at Becoming Saiyans Pod on Twitter, on Instagram, on YouTube, on TikTok. We would love to have you guys download, subscribe, rate, review. Give us a 5-star rating if you feel like we earned it. And even if we didn't, I would still like it. So, and until next time, I've been Truman.
And I've been Jesse.
And the journey continues.
Bye.